Well, Bitcoin, as of right now, in September, okay, is now using more than 50% of renewable energy. So if you go back to January 2022, which is on the left side, and September 2023, you could see back about a year ago, more than a year ago, almost 2 years ago, you could see coal was a big energy source, close to 37%. And then you had gas, about 25%. But then you notice the other ones like solar, wind, hydro, nuclear. They're quite small, right? But look at it now. Hydro is actually the big energy source now at 23%, right? You have coal that has decreased down to 23%, and you got gas at 21.1. Look at wind. Wind is now at 14%, right? And solar also got up to 5%. So as of right now, more than 50%, okay, of the energy used, energy required to keep the network going, right, to keep the miners from operating is now renewable energy, which is great, right? Overall, it's great. That's a win-win. And places love Bitcoin miners, right? Many states love Bitcoin mining. It helps improve the power grid. It helps generate tax dollars, right? So a lot of states, especially like Texas, really loves Bitcoin miners. But with this said, right, remember, this is from Elon replying to Cointelegraph. This was back years ago when Elon all of a sudden wrote out, distributed this letter and said that they will stop taking Bitcoin as payments, right? Caused a whole bunch of FUD. That's when I called him Elon at that time because I was angry. Everyone was also angry. And he responded saying that when there's confirmation of reasonable 50% clean energy usage by miners with positive future trend, Tesla will resume allowing Bitcoin transactions, right? So it's been a couple of years. Now, in 2021, he also said that he believes that 50% has already been achieved, but he wanted to do a little bit more due diligence, okay? So it's been quite a while now, right? And we still have not seen him come around. Do we really need Elon and Tesla to come around and accept Bitcoin as payments? No, but it would be nice. People love Tesla. People love Elon, right? So getting his endorsement, of course, would be a big deal. Is it necessary? No. But can it help drive adoption? Can it drive more attention to the space, drive more people to the space? Then yeah, of course. And Tesla still does hold hundreds of millions of Bitcoin itself. It was rumored that Elon told, SpaceX to sell off their Bitcoin, although that still has been unconfirmed. Even though some reporters said it, does not mean that's actually true. And Elon himself have gone on record and said that he has Bitcoin himself, right? So it'll be a big thing. A couple charts. Here's one that's looking at a Wyckoff accumulation again, right? If you look at it, it looks pretty similar. Wyckoff, of course, is not a good thing. Wyckoff accumulation is when the big boys are trying to scare you out because they want to accumulate. Okay, that's what Wyckoff accumulation is. That's why there are games being played right now because these big boys want it all, right? Rather than let you have it, they want it. So you don't want to fall for that. But this looks very, very, very similar, right? And then here's another one. Basically, this is looking at hash ribbons. This is another one of those indicators that measure whether or not the miners themselves are profitable or not, right? And whether you should be buying or not. So this actually has, if you go all the way back, right? If you correlate all the way back to the beginning, you could clearly see times when the hash ribbon turns red, okay, and flips back to the green. Those are the buying opportunities. And guess what? Right now is one of those opportunities. Whenever we come off from bottom after a downtrend, which is in the red, okay, whenever we get off of a bottom point, you could see there's a couple buy points, right? It doesn't indicate immediate upwards, but there's only a few opportunities before things really start running, right? So you don't want to miss out. And right now, it's flashing by. Michael Saylor, Cathie Wood, they're still talking about this Lightning integration, right? That Coinbase committed to. It's, I guess, according to them, it's a big deal. Me personally, I think Bitcoin could stay just a store of value, right? You don't need it to be a payment rail, although it is. You could use it for that purpose. But, you know, I think you don't need it to be a payment rail for day-to-day transactions like if you wanted to pay for Starbucks. Do you really need to spend Bitcoin to do that? No. But the Lightning Network does make it possible. Makes it very cheap and makes transactions almost instantaneous, right? So with Coinbase coming along, it's going to add 100 million users to the Lightning Network. So that's pretty good. But you can see Michael Saylor right here. Excellent decision. Lightning will revolutionize Bitcoin transaction to deliver the power of Bitcoin network to billions of people worldwide. Adoption of this protocol by every firm in the industry now seems inevitable. I don't think every firm in the industry will adopt, but you know, it's a nice. It's a step in the right direction. Looking at Lightning Network itself, it does seem like it kind of stalled. 2022 was peak for the nodes out there. You do, in order to be able to utilize a Lightning Network, you do need to have nodes. It's almost like its own separate network, and the consensus is shared with Bitcoin. But you can see the nodes kind of topped out, and the overall transactions and capacity has also topped out, right? But having Coinbase come aboard, and others have committed too, like, for example, CZ of Binance said that, yeah, they're going to enable Lightning Network too with Binance, right? So yeah. So overall, I think this is good. But I say it's nice to have, but not necessarily needed, because Bitcoin itself, without Lightning Network, with its own, just a native network, is fine, right? Bitcoin is meant to be bought and held, in my opinion. Why would you want to spend Bitcoin when you know there's a finite supply and it's disinflationary? It's getting more scarce as more and more people come into the space. Why would you want to spend your precious Bitcoin? You want to hold it and hold as much of it as possible. A little Binance FUD. I mean, Binance.us challenges SEC's unreasonable demands of legal showdown, right? But the SEC is saying no, they're just not doing anything. And so far, they only produced 220 documents, right? So who's right? Is Binance right saying that they're just making unreasonable demands? Probably. We know this is SEC. They like to drag things on and basically try to bankrupt people. They don't really try to win. They just try to bankrupt them, right? So maybe this is correct. And maybe this is correct too, that Binance has just not been compliant because they just don't want to be, right? I don't know. The truth is somewhere in the middle, but this is ongoing. I do know Binance.us is losing a lot of executives right now. They lost their CEO, they lost their chief legal officer or whatever. Binance.us is not looking so hot these days.